Perhaps AI is not that evil after all, guys. Perhaps AI is not that bad. This is from a couple of weeks ago. Ex-Google CEO warns that perfect AI girlfriends could spell trouble for young men. But which is the lesser of the two evils? I don't know. Do I want to know? Probably not. People in 2024 aren't just sweeping right and left on online dating apps. Some are crafting their perfect AI match and entering relationships with chatbots. I don't think this is extremely dystopian. And there's also an old Futurama episode. Good series, by the way. Explaining why this is terrible and a bad idea. Former Google CEO Eric Schmidt recently shared his concerns about young men crafting AI romantic partners and says he agrees that AI dating will actually increase loneliness. Yes, how am I agreeing with Google CEO? This is the darkest timeline, I swear to God. This is a good example of an unexpected problem of existing technology. Unexpected? Speak for yourself. Schmidt said in a conversation about AI dangers and regulation on the Prof G show. What a name! With Scott Galloway published Sunday. Not this Sunday. Schmidt painted a picture of an emotionally and physically perfect AI girlfriend who could ultimately create a scenario in which a younger male becomes obsessed and allows the AI to take over their thinking. This has happened before. Not necessarily AI girlfriend, but with AI. It's not the first one that ends themselves because of AI. And this is gonna sound really wrong of me, but I'm still gonna say it. It is messed up, but they were weak. It takes mental fortitude. It sounds really wrong, I know. I do believe it's wrong, but it's something wrong we have to say. It's a really strange situation in general, right? And that also comes from a place in general where I don't think. Bottom text. Hold up. No, no. I was thinking actually. Okay, I don't think that a lot of people nowadays understand what it means to be human, like truly human. Sure, I can agree that AI is useful, or it has the potential to be useful at least. But how do you fall in love, let's say, with AI? It's literally... They mentioned that somewhere. It's literally a chatbot. Why? And yes, I understand that some people are really lonely, but this is just sad. Not sad as in pathetic. You can think that, but sad as in actually depressing. And then you have a lot of people going around, but mental health is so important. Yes, it is. Why is no one actually helping mental health nowadays? The kind of obsession is possible. It is possible. We've seen that the young guy... Was it actually a kid? I don't remember if it was a minor. They had the Game of Thrones chatbot that ended up with some lead inside. That was really sad too, okay? But I'm pretty sure that guy had some sort of different mental problem. It was not just AI obsession. I agree, it's important. Especially for people who are not fully formed. I guess this is a really good point, actually. Why am I agreeing with Google CEO? What is going on? What is going on? Things are really bad. Young men aren't the only ones involved in AI relationships. Every time you see the concept of AI relationship, once again, I can only think of that Futurama episode with Robert Lucy Liu. That was her name, right? I don't think I'm misremembering, I could be. The CEO of AI companion app replica? I mean, I get it, but it's a little bit too on the nose. Said that the app's users are mostly 35 plus. Oh god. However, Schmidt described the young male population as particularly vulnerable, saying they weren't as educated as women on average. Wow! Wow! What a straight shot to guys, huh? They are not as educated. What do you mean by this? Come on now. Being educated has nothing to do with being vulnerable. Eh? What the hell? Why would you say that? In 2024, it's pure research study again. I didn't know PewDiePie was so famous. But US women outpaced main college completion. But I'm pretty sure this vulnerability here is talking about emotional vulnerability. Which is fair, okay? It's fair. Have you seen modern society? Yeah, this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. They clung on you constantly, and then they won't let you be a guy. Of course you're gonna be messed up in the head. Of course you're gonna need some sort of, dare I say, companionship? Doesn't have to be romantic, but I understand the craving too. It's nothing more than human. Smith said that in extreme cases, younger men can turn to the online world for enjoyment and sustenance. Sustenance? Strange, but sure. But also because of the social media algorithms. They find like-minded people who ultimately radicalize them. Smith said that the convention will take the form of terror. You have to be joking. You have to be joking! I thought this was about young guys being vulnerable. Oh no, they are just terrorists. They are just far right. You're only working towards that. Stop it. You're only helping that same cause. Why would you say something like this? I just don't understand. I just don't understand. Sure, it's the guy's fault. Jesus Christ, man. You cannot have anything in Detroit. The former Google exec, okay, also said he is particularly concerned about the impact of technology on the human psyche when users are isolated and computers feed them information that is not necessarily centered in human values, a topic he wrote about in his latest book. Look, let's see me agree with his premise, disagree with his conclusion, because that happens every time. It's not my fault, okay? It's not my fault, because this is an actual problem. But the conclusion is gonna be outlandish. I think I'm picking the mic. I'm getting too excited, I'm sorry. Some have already shared the concerns about AI chatbots having harmful impacts. In managed to chatbot startup Carter.ai in October. Yes, it was for a thing. This is the guy I mentioned before. After her 14-year-old son committed suicide, the teenager had exchanged sexual messages with the chatbot to tell him to come home before he killed himself. The boy's mother said in the civil suit, "We read this case, and yes, also, the 14-year-old son, I'm pretty sure, had something else going on." Because how do you jump from come home to I have to kill myself? I keep picking the mic again. I'm too excited. Yeah, how do you make that jump from come home to yes, some land on my brain? Well, parents will have to be more involved. I also agree with this. Smith said they can only control what their children are doing to a certain extent. Even though there are all sorts of rules about age for online products, Smith said they aren't doing enough to prevent teenagers from accessing harmful content. Are you gonna veer a little bit into, oh, the political extremism again? It's not real. We saw it before. Well, it's real, but it doesn't mean what they think it means. You put the 12 or 13-year-old in front of these things, and they have access to every evil as well as every good in the world, Smith said. They're not ready to take it. Yeah, I guess so. He has a point. But at the same time, this coming from Google, I can only read this as, oh, but we want more control with this. Because of course they do. Smith has invested in various AI startups since leaving Google, and he has said in the past that regulation of the technology shouldn't stifle innovation. True, but why is it always kids? Young people in general, they don't really have to be kids. Also, I'm gonna say something extremely controversial. 18 years old is way too low for the majority of age. I'm sorry, it's way too low. Should be 21 across the board. Some people could say even 25. In the interview published Sunday, he said that US laws like Section 230, which largely allows tech companies to not be legally responsible for the content their users post to platforms, should be amended to allow for liability in the worst possible cases. So when someone is harmed from this technology, we need to have a solution to prevent further harm. I don't think that's correct. I think Section 230 should be applied properly because that's not happening. we saw that many times, especially with YouTube, especially with Twitter. Do you guys remember the Twitter files? Because I do. That wasn't good. President-elect Donald Trump, Orange Man, paid for FTC chair Brendan Carr. She fast has pushed for limitations to Section 230. Smith said he doesn't expect much AI regulation in the next 4 years, as Trump's administration will likely have other priorities. Fair. Also, AI regulation, I do believe you will have to regulate some points, but at the same time, it's gonna be really difficult to have regulations that everyone like, right? Because something really new, and people don't understand what the moral limits should be. That makes sense. Also, do you really think China is gonna have the same regulations? China! I don't think so. He also said that given that companies are economic agents and have lawyers protecting their intellectual property and goals, it's likely to take some kind of a calamity to cause a change in regulation. Well, I'm gonna say something, and maybe this 14-year-old guy was enough of a calamity. How many more people do we need in coffins for this to be addressed? And sure, that guy was a minor. That guy didn't have enough parental control. I agree, but still. It's a really bad situation overall. Try to find people you can connect with. Actual people, real people. And I suppose that nowadays, more than ever, we live in really strange times. Have to say. But social media has been around for quite a while. And people are starting to forget how important it is to have actual physical contact with other human beings. And it's really funny that it's me saying that. I'm pretty much a hermit, okay? I understand that most people shouldn't be like me, and maybe I shouldn't be like that too much either. But I don't know. It's a really complex topic, I suppose. But it really shows you how wrong things really are in society nowadays. Society! It's not a meme, guys. It's not a meme. Society is really messed up. And just like, disgustly, people being unable to relate to other people. Normal people, mind you. So strange. And well, if we're talking about social media, how many times have we seen the absolute melody of the modern day being unable to differentiate between fiction and reality? Let me tell you, this here, it's not helping. This is not helping. To either side, mind you. But at the end of the day, they just wanted to clown on young men. Oh, they're getting radicalized. Maybe it's perhaps your fault. If they're happy, they wouldn't be radicalized. Have you ever thought about that? But no, we can never give anything to guys. It's endless. It's disappointing. I do hope things get better though.